Yesterday was April 1, April Fool's Day, and I have to admit there were some fools around that I really enjoyed. Like the number of National Party MPs who put posts up claiming that they were helping the poor fight the costs of living that the party exacerbated by giving them peanuts as benefit and supported living payments went up. With fuel skyrocketing as well as their increases for supported living, it's like throwing a glass of water on the Great Fire of London and claiming you did your bit and you're super proud of the effort. And people in the comments let them know, which shouldn't be a surprise after the Roy Morgan poll the other night put the party at its most unpopular since the days of Judith Collins' leadership. David Seymour went on a "you pause should be thanking us" rant on the increases that happened yesterday that should make an associate education minister furrow their forehead and ask how the sentence structure was allowed, if only it wasn't the associate education minister who posted it. And he went on another rant trying to suck up to the conspiracy theorists, where he was happy to misrepresent the COVID inquiry findings again to play to people that ACT kept offering candidacies to at the last election, who kept having to quit because it turns out they were terrible people and they were snapped lying about their backgrounds half a dozen times. On top of that, the BSA, the Broadcasting Standards Authority, released its findings on if they do in fact have jurisdiction over the platform. And they, a board made up of legal experts and broadcast experts, are adamant that they do, while Facebook commentators who genuinely believe their unqualified reckons are legally more valid, the most idiotic rich ACT fans on Twitter that you read about in the Herald, and people who think everyone should have unfettered access to the video of the Christchurch massacre, disagree. It means Sean Plunkett had a bad day. Winston Peters got all angry on Twitter about claiming that somehow the BSA is both trying to police the entire internet and specifically target the platform, which is not, and this is true, the entire internet. Not sure how you can do both at the same time, but since when has Winston's comments ever made sense? The fact is, this whole process was started because of a specific complaint about a specific comment made specifically by Sean Plunkett on the platform. That's what the ruling about coverage was about, a specific outlet. And it turns out that broadcasting live on a streaming app while also having chunks of your show broadcast on radio and calling yourself a broadcaster makes what you are making considered a broadcast. But don't worry, the Free Speech Union said that Plunkett shouldn't be covered by the Broadcasting Standards Authority because of free speech, and they have time to say that now that they don't have a current deliberately controversial right-wing mouthpiece with links to Jeffrey Epstein to show around the place, like they did recently. And through it all, because these snowflakes keep rage farming and vice signaling about fascism and free speech, no one mentions the fact that the BSA made this call because, and the call caused controversy because, they have been asking for years for updates in legislation that better define their role in the digital age, and no government has done so. So they're forced to interpret the 1989 law the best way that they can. Councillors in Gore with connections to conspiracy groups in Groundswell were given warnings for breach of code of conduct rules, but don't worry, it was never their fault. It's always someone else who's responsible for their actions, and that's the case anytime you see somebody who gets in trouble at a local body level who was on the conspiracy lists for last year's local body elections. It's never their fault. Updated data on fuel levels shows quicker than expected drop in jet fuel, but considering that we're seeing record levels of people leaving the country because of how the economy is so fucked, it's understandable that we're flying more planes. The government crapped itself and walked back work from home restrictions just before a court case challenging their plan rather than try to defend their decision. And finally, some absolute genius has actually been sending invoices directly to the Prime Minister for lost wages because of the removal of the pay equity process. And you know what? I love that. So yeah, April 1 was weird, but it feels like a bad day to be a right-wing shill. And you know what? I hope they have many more days like that, and they don't just leave it to April 1st. Oh, hey there, podcast listeners. Thanks for checking out today's podcast, whether that's on video or audio. I really appreciate it. And I did finally get around to doing a podcast end tag, which I've been meaning to do for a while instead of just taking you onto the Facebook version. So while you're here, why not hit that subscribe button so that you can get updates coming in directly every time there's a new episode uploaded. Just seems like a really simple way to keep up to date with all of the crazy that's going on. So yeah, give that a shot and I'll talk to you soon.